Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Four Continental Podcast. Today, I'm here with Singh Park and it's me, Momin. So, today we talk about the four games that we played earlier today, starting off with Qatar and Switzerland. So, yeah, let's dive straight into it.
So, in my opinion, this game was a perfect example of showing that, like, even if you are like the better side of a team, if you're not like converting your chances into goals or like showing like a really drive to score another, then sometimes you might not get the result you probably deserve. And that was the case for Switzerland. I think that they were the better side, but they weren't converting their chances. And in the second half, they weren't even looking that serious as well. So, Qatar, the other team, who like was trying really hard, and a point for them probably meant a lot, and they got what they deserve. I mean, it was kind of beautiful at the end to see their fans like become so happy because it meant a lot to them.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Switzerland had quite a few chances in the first half, but I have to give credit to the Qatar goalkeeper here. He made some like amazing save that really kept Qatar in the game. Although the penalty Switzerland got was a bit controversial, as the player was he looked offside from the camera, but after the VR view, they said he wasn't offside, so maybe it wasn't, but it looked really close. So, and yeah, for Qatar, obviously it was their first ever point at the FIFA World Cup. Despite hosting it the last edition, they lost all three of their group games. So yeah, this was their first ever World Cup point, and it surely meant a lot to them.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm happy that you mentioned Abu Nada because, in my opinion, he was the man of the match for Qatar as well. Like, I mean, like he saved a lot of chances, and like I was saying, so in my opinion, the Switzerland, I think Nadoy was probably their best player. In my opinion, I think he had like a few chances, and I think the moment he was taken off, I think that's when Switzerland actually started looking like super uninspired as well. And for Qatar, I think Edmilson was doing quite good as well at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. Edmilson, I believe he had a chance in the opening 2 minutes where the Swiss defense actually made a mistake. He was open to goal, but he didn't manage to convert. If, however, he converted that chance, the pressure would have been on Switzerland immediately. So yeah, but still, Qatar managed to grab a point with an amazing cross at the right at the end and an amazing header. So yeah, great for Qatar. So let's just quickly, um, like give a prediction for Group B. So after all the teams have played the games and everyone is on basically 1 point each. So how do you think this group ending up?
So, in my opinion, I think that today kind of showed. I mean, obviously, I've already said that it really matters a lot, like how like serious you like. I mean, how important it is to like convert your chances into goals. And okay, so in my opinion, like I'm saying, I think now I still kind of back Bosnia doing very good because in my opinion, I think that if Switzerland plays against Bosnia, I think they'll struggle defensively. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean Bosnia. I'm hoping they actually start Eden Dzeko because despite being 40-year-old, he was still their top goal scorer in the World Cup qualifiers. So I think they should make him play the game, and he will definitely be a threat to the Switzerland defense as they were a bit shaky against Qatar. So Bosnia will definitely be a huge threat to them.
Right, right. So I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and uh I'm gonna put Bosnia at first. And for second, I'm actually gonna put Canada, and right now I think Switzerland will actually finish third. And for last, I'll still put Qatar. What do you think?
Yeah, not much changes from my side as well. I was gonna make Bosnia top the group as well, but second I would keep Switzerland because I believe they would uh, might do well against the remaining teams, Canada. But yeah, it's still will be interesting to see how they look after their defense. So yeah, we put Bosnia first, Switzerland second, Canada third, and Qatar fourth.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. Yeah, it will be quite interesting to see if Switzerland switches up because, like you said, I do believe that if they switch it up, then yeah, they can easily finish second as well. So it will be a close group, I think. So yeah, let's move on to the next game.
Yeah, the next game being the big one, Brazil versus Morocco.
Yeah, right. Now, this is the obviously this is the game I believe which is the most talked about. And honestly, let's get this straight. Do we agree that Brazil was kind of disappointing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, since the game started, Morocco basically put immense pressure on them. So yeah, and they were quick to grab a first opener as well. Yeah, so it definitely pushed Brazil back a bit.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like you were saying in the first half, I think it was no doubt that Morocco was the better team. I think the main problem with the Brazil right now is like obviously we have discussed the fullback issues before, but I think during this game we saw that they kind of have a very weak midfield as well. I mean, obviously Casemiro he did not have a good game. I mean, let's be real. And Paqueta he was I believe he was terrible as well. And only decent midfielder I would say was Bruno. But even then, it was like comparing to Paqueta and Casemiro, obviously it was going to be quite better, right? Like from what we've seen. And obviously the the thing that made exposed Brazil midfield most is probably the Morocco star boy today, number six, Buadi. I mean, he had a fantastic performance and he just single-handedly kind of like destroyed Brazil's midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like right after the game ended, we immediately saw transfer links of Wadi to Liverpool, to Arsenal, to PSG, to Madrid. It just immediately the rumors just went out. So yeah, it was definitely a great game from him in the Moroccan midfield. We have to give credit to Ashraf Hakimi. Obviously, he uh, helps Morocco a lot with his pace, with his defense. Oh yeah, the captain played his part, and every player basically they didn't back down from like from Brazil. Although Brazil have a very aged squad, so I think this they will face an issue here because of all the players being aged. I think they've gotten a bit slower. Like even if you look at Casemiro, he's old and yeah,
Right, right.
he really needs to step up.
And it was kind of crazy to me because the moment Fabinho came on as a substitute, I thought he did play a lot better as well, even though the fact that he has been playing in the Saudi League for a few years now. So this just kind of shows that the quality of the player never kind of goes away. And I do think in the second half, the substitutes did kind of change it up. I mean, Cunha, he did kind of show like why he should be the starting striker, really. I mean, we have seen like even in the friendly. Remember, Igor Thiago wasn't like quite good, but at the time he was like, "Oh, it's just a friendly, so maybe in the World Cup it will be different." But low key in this game, we kind of saw the exact same issue. Like he's quite like sluggish. He has like slow touch and everything. And yeah, I mean, in the World Cup, bro, you cannot afford to put up bad performances. If you put like few bad performances, you have to be benched. So I think Igor Thiago cannot continue start for Brazil.
Yeah, for sure. Like speaking of the World Cup, you only get one game to prove yourself. So if you like do bad in it, obviously it's gonna be a big hit for the team. So you cannot really afford to make any mistakes at such a big stage like the World Cup. Although winning his goal, I'd like to mention he scored a good goal. But moving back towards Morocco, they had a good chance right towards the end, right when the final whistle, where Allison made a good save, actually double save he actually
Yeah,
made.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Morocco could have easily won this game by the end.
Yeah,
And and to add further on, I liked how you said Hakimi had a very good game for Morocco, and it was just kind of crazy because Morocco did like kind of have like way better like link up play. Like it just felt way more like a team, and like it was to the point like it did feel like Morocco were more like Brazil. And one player I do really want to shout out was Mazrui. I mean, I don't know what happens is he went bald, but he was going crazy throughout the game.
Yeah, yeah. So this was it for the
And
Brazil Morocco. So I think we
and
should move towards the Scotland versus Haiti game now.
I
Yeah, basically Haiti actually I thought they were gonna like concede a lot, but they actually held off Scotland quite well. Even the goal Scotland scored was a deflection, and other than that, they actually held them quite well. And if we like look at the overall like the stats of the game, Haiti actually dominated Scotland. Like you could say, Scotland kind of like parked the bus against Haiti. So if like a team like Brazil, they definitely should take notes. I mean, if Haiti could like attack Scotland like that, they will definitely not back down from the remaining two games. They are really here to play and not like mess around.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I was kind of shocked as well because remember looking at the qualifiers, I did think Heidi was gonna kind of struggle in the World Cup, but yeah, I think that the score did not kind of reflect the game itself. I did think like Heidi was quite close to Scotland as well. Like they could have easily scored like a goal and then easily drew, but yeah, they did have the momentum. They did have like I believe they did have more shots than Scotland, right?
Yeah, I guess so. They just basically lacked in the final third. They couldn't
Yeah, yeah.
finish their goals.
Yeah, so looking at this performance, do you think it is possible that Heidi can get a point from the other matches in the group?
I'm I'm not so sure about them facing Morocco, but if Brazil don't like fix these things up, I believe they definitely might surprise everyone and like actually draw against Brazil because like overall performance from Brazil was like really below expectations, honestly.
I actually kind of disagree with you there. I mean, obviously we did agree that Brazil was kind of disappointing, but at the same time, it was against Morocco. I mean, obviously, I don't agree that they are the AFCON champions, but still, they are the AFCON finalists. And in 2022, they were the World Cup semis. So Morocco is a very good team. So even though Brazil was disappointing, I do still believe that Brazil would have an edge over teams like Haiti. Yeah. So in my opinion, like I think that sadly, unfortunately, I don't really see how Haiti can get a point against Brazil or Morocco.
Yeah, I mean it's like but it's World Cup, so I'm like I won't be surprised at all if they somehow manage to actually like grab a point. But yeah, it will be they will need to work a lot harder for that.
Right, right. So, do you want to do the predictions for the group?
Yeah, for sure. So looking at the group, basically Scotland have kind of like booked their ticket onto the next round. At 3 points, even if they lose the next two games, they're probably gonna finish third. But I don't think they're gonna like lose. If if they even manage to get a draw against one of like Morocco, Brazil, yeah, they're definitely through. So I believe Scotland finishes third in this group, and Brazil actually like need to step up, so they will finish second. I will put Morocco first and put Haiti at the last.
Interesting. Mine was actually exact same as yours. I do think Morocco has kind of showed and proven that they are performing better. So I would back them in that sense. And moving on, but yeah, yeah. I mean, at this point, wouldn't think it would be super surprising if Brazil even finishes third. Because, like you said, if Scotland even just manages to get a point, that would be huge for them. I mean, that would be 4 points for Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. Like being in a group with Brazil and Morocco, I believe this will be like a good achievement for Scotland.
Right, right. So, do
Okay,
we want to
so
move to the next game?
yeah, next game Australia versus Turkey.
Right. You want to start off with your opinions?
Yeah, just like straight into it. So Turkey obviously came in the World Cup with a really talented squad. A lot of high expectations from everyone for hoping that Turkey would finish first in the group. Even most of us here thought that with the talent they have, Turkey would manage to top the group. But after the Australian defense, if you look at how strong it actually was, like although Turkey managed to get like 20 something shots, most of them were blocked, and in those which they got through the defense, the keeper, the Australian keeper actually stepped up, and I believe it was his debut at the World Cup. So yeah, definitely a huge achievement for them. And Australia, we're gonna have to talk about their wingers, Aaron Kunda, and their forward Toure. Yeah, they definitely have a really pacey and obviously good finishing as well. The moment they scored their first goal was basically Turkey failing to score a goal, and Australia immediately hit back with the counter, and with Iran Kunda's pace, they just glided through the Turkish defense and easily scored. So I think this is something really concerning for Turkey. If they if you look at the amount of talent and etc., this is definitely a lot of concern for Turkey. They really need to get their things together for their upcoming games.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, first of all, let's get this off. I mean, this was a very intense game. I mean, both half it was quite exciting. This pure World Cup vibes. But yeah, like you have said, I mean, Australia defense was just peak. And I think, do you think I mean, the stats in this game are misleading? Because if you just look at the stats, it will kind of look like Turkey were kind of very unlucky and the fact that they just couldn't score. But if you watch the game, it really just felt like Australia defense was just so great. Like the Turkey like players, they were just struggling to break through it. They were struggling to create like good chances. I mean, yeah, sure, Turkey had a lot of shots, but how many of the chances were actually like great chances, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so yeah, the whole match it just kind of showed they were kind of struggling, and you know, at the first half, it was like UMass kind of up against them, and then in the second half, I believe it was UD's who was brought on, and even though UD's did kind of up the like strengthen the Turkey's attack, even then it was just not enough. So I do really think it was really just a masterclass of Australia defense, and enough about the Australia defense. Yeah, like you said, the counter attack was just insane. I mean, I believe in the second half you were watching the whole time, you just felt like Turkey had the ball. But then the one moment it kind of went to Australia, it was suddenly a counter attack, and then boom, it was another goal. Like, and I think the goal they scored, right? Another day, the goalkeeper would save it, but you know, because it was just so unexpected, and the fact that Australia were so good on the counter attack, yeah, it was a goal, and yeah, I don't think Turkey saw it coming.
yeah, absolutely. Obviously, with the pace he had, and the Turkey defense had no chance stopping him. So yeah, this is definitely a wake-up call for Turkey, and definitely a great start for Australia. And Turkey is basically the biggest threat in this group, and they easily glided past Turkey with a comfortable victory. So if Turkey doesn't get their things around, I'm afraid they might actually miss out. But with the amount of talent they have, I'm sure they will actually get back into it and do well in their games in upcoming against
Mm,
USA and Paraguay.
right, right. I mean, yeah, Turkey might still have a chance. But for now, yeah, we do kind of agree that Australia and USA have the momentum in the group, right?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, let's move to the predictions of Group D. So what do you think now? Who finishes first, second, third, and fourth?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, still can't believe the performance of Australia. I mean, it kind of shocked me. I mean, we did kind of expect Turkey to like perform better. But yeah, so I mean, USA attack we saw from yesterday it was peak, and then now we are gonna have them versus Australia defense, which is peak. So yeah, and I'm actually gonna, like, it might sound like a hot take, but I'm actually gonna back Australia to finish first now because I think that Australia's attack is kind of Australia attack is good as well, but for USA the defense was kind of looking shaky. So I do believe that Australia can actually pull off a performance against USA. So for now, I would actually put Australia first, USA second, Turkey third, and Paraguay at fourth. What about you?
Yeah, actually, same. We look at the USA. USA's last game. Also, their attack was a threat to Paraguay, but their defense was like quite shaky against a team like Paraguay. So, with the forwards Australia has, it will definitely be a much bigger threat to their defense. And speaking of their attack, we also saw how solid Australian defense is. So they will definitely give them a tough time to get through this defense. So yeah, I'm also gonna back Australia here to finish first, followed by Turkey. I think they actually step back in, and yeah, they get back their momentum. So I'm gonna put Australia first, Turkey second, USA third, and Paraguay fourth.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. I still think it can be a close group, so I agree with. I don't think what you said is far off as well.
Yeah, so we have quite a few interesting games today and tomorrow as well. We got like Germany versus Curacao, which we discussed yesterday in our last podcast in like half an hour. And
Yeah, yeah.
other than that, we got in Holland versus Japan. It's actually a really interesting game.
Right, right. I feel like, yeah, let's first thing first. I feel like every tournament, every World Cup, like everyone kind of like hypes up Japan to do good. So obviously they do kind of do decent, but it's never like like it is like never like super decent. I mean, it's never like past like round of 16 type of stuff. So, but yeah, I think going into this match, I mean, obviously the form for Netherlands pre this World Cup has been actually kind of confusing because if I believe for one of the qualifiers recently, they did kind of lose.
Mm. Yeah, actually, and even in their friendly against Uzbekistan, where they only managed to get two penalties.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So, what
so
would you predict for this game?
yeah, so I basically think that I believe Holland like struggle with their nine. I don't believe Memphis Depay is the player like he used to be, and I don't really expect much from Daniel Malen as well. So with keeping that in mind, although their defense is quite strong, but if they can concede against teams like Uzbekistan and Algeria, Japan is way too stronger. So I think Japan actually takes the win here, like a 2-1 win maybe. What about you?
Right, right. Yeah, in my opinion, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I think a lot of the surprisingly, I've seen online a lot of the Dutch fans they don't rate Coleman as well, because obviously we've seen with the striker, right? The news,
Yeah,
the backlash is that he kind of ignored and acted like he didn't even know who he was. So yeah, I mean, I do think still like players like Gakpo, they will like shine in the World Cup. I mean, we know Gakpo is a different beast when it's during the World Cup, and Netherlands do still have a strong midfield in my opinion. I mean, Reinders, Gravenberg, Frankie De Jong, just to name a few. I do think they still have
yeah,
a strong midfield. But yeah, I think as a collective team, I think Japan can probably pull off a good game as well. So, in my opinion, I actually think it would be a close game. I would back it to be a draw between the two. I would predict like a 2-2 draw.
interesting. Now let's move toward the next game, which is also very like two of the potential dark horses of the tournament. It's between Ivory Coast and Ecuador.
Right, right. I remember me, David, you were kind of discussing about the both of the
Yeah,
teams yesterday. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting to see two of the dark horses play against each other. Hmm. In my opinion, I've said myself, I believe I said it yesterday. I do still think Ivory Coast is a better team, in my opinion. So and I do expect goals. So just going off simple here, I would predict a 2-1 win for the Ivory Coast.
It's quite interesting. So as for me, I believe there will be like both teams got like great attacking. So I'm definitely gonna back Ivory Coast here as well. But I think it will be more of like like high scoring game potentially.
Mm. Yeah, I hear that.
So I'm gonna say 3-2 Ivory Coast, three for Ivory Coast and two for Ecuador.
Well, that would be awesome if that happens. So,
Yeah, really
yeah.
intense. Yeah, so moving towards the second last game, which is Sweden versus Tunisia.
Right, right. So, I mean, I'm just gonna get this straight. I do think Sweden should probably perform better, right? I mean, I feel like we always kind of look at Sweden's attack, and it feels very stacked to look at. But I mean, it always just feels like Sweden does kind of struggle to score, though, even though the attack is quite good. But at the same time, I do not think Tunisia team is necessarily the strongest. So I would still back a 1-0 win for the Sweden.
Interesting. Yeah, for sure. Sweden, we basically, when you talk about Sweden, most of the people basically just name the forwards. You don't see anyone really
Exactly.
hyping up the defense and the midfield. So I actually think that Tunisia might surprise everyone here and beat Sweden 1-0.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. I mean, yeah, we do kind of often ignore the other aspects of the Sweden team.
Yeah, for sure. So the last game for tomorrow, it will be Spain versus Cape Verde.
Yeah, yeah, so you want to start off with your predictions, moment?
Yeah, so speaking of Cape Verde in their recent friendlies, I think they faced a good team like uh, Serbia. Yeah, they defeated Serbia 3-0 in their one of their recent friendlies. So with a team with the caliber of uh, Cape Verde and Serbia, obviously being like a uh, actually, but like you can say they're kind of better than them in terms of like talent and etc. So, but they're still friendly after all. So, but Spain, as we know, their defense is kind of all right. Their midfield is stacked. Their attack is stacked. But yeah, I would say they also kind of have the same problem as in Holland, where they basically lack a proper number nine as they had
Right, right,
Morata. So
right.
yeah, although they do lack a proper number nine, but I think the quality that the Spain side actually has, they should be comfortably winning this, like something like a 3-1 game.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Like you have just said, I mean, obviously it will be kind of interesting to see how Verde plays, but I mean, we just cannot ignore the difference, right? I mean, we do really think that Spain should be comfortable in this victory, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I would be quite interested to see how good the midfield will look against Cape Verde, though. I mean, because it's for Spain, you always have to think about the midfield. So I would be like interested to see how Pedri and Fabian Ruiz plays. And obviously, like you have talked about the defense just now. I mean, I just want to mention it quickly, but it was quite shocking. Like Cucurella suddenly moved to Real Madrid. It was quite random, right?
yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like we said, so I think, like thinking of the defense, they still have like Kubarsi and Pedro Porro. So yeah, yeah, I do believe it should be a comfortable win for Spain. And if I'm to predict a score, I would predict a 2-0 win for Spain.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. So yeah, as we get closer towards the Germany versus Curacao game, I think we should wrap this podcast up. So yeah, see you all in the next one, and hopefully we have the rest of our guys with us too. They were quite missed today as Diego is from Brazil, and we discussed it without him, without like hearing his thought. what he feels about the team. Similarly, Australia, David wasn't around. Yeah, we definitely miss them. We hope to have them in the next episode. So yeah, that's it for now, and see you on tomorrow.
Yeah, catch you on the next one. Peace.